Look at him, Maser. Maser shows up at Speaker's Corner. If he had learnt anything useful, he would come and engage with a Christian who can debate with him. But what did Muhammad do to him? He parks his brain back at home before traveling for the day to come to Speaker's Corner. That gentleman over there, Maser. Muhammad mobilized the worst murderous death cult in history. Jesus taught, love your enemies. Jesus went to the cross to lay down his life. Went to the cross. The Bible says, whilst we were his enemies, Jesus loved us. He trains. He has his minion. Look at him, look at him. He trains. He knows how to be friendly today because on a few occasions in the past, he was caught having violence. Violent agenda was caught on camera. He knows if he continues doing that, he'll be in prison. He knows it. And so today, he behaves better. Jesus is up there. Who is the one major world religion's messenger who called human beings worse than dogs? Muhammad. And when you spend your time too much with Muhammad, you will think everyone is like Muhammad. When you think Muhammad is a marvelous leader, of course you will be confused. You won't know the distinguishing marks between Jesus, who is up there, and Muhammad, who is down here. Jesus lifted up his eyes to speak to his Father. Muhammad was digging up to find out where he can hide his face and do all the bum exercise. So much confusion at Speaker's Corner, and that is why even now he is angry. Even now. Name one good contribution of Muhammad in world history. Just one. If you give me one, I'll pack my bags, go home, never return to Speaker's Corner. Just one. One good contribution of Muhammad. Are you a Muslim, sir?
No, I'm Christian.
You're a Christian.
But he made the Asian population praise one God.
He made who?
He made the Asian population.
Asian population.
Or the population.
So the gentleman responds, he says he's a Christian, and he says there is one good contribution of Muhammad, and that is he made the Asian population, I'm assuming some of the Arabs or Arabs generally, to worship one God. Let me ask you a simple question, sir. Let me ask you a simple question, sir. Making people worship the devil, is that an accomplishment?
No.
Making people worship a genocidal monster, is that an accomplishment?
No.
And this is where the key word I used is good. Name one good, not major. Muhammad clearly was a major troublemaker who has been causing trouble, which is impacting us even today. So clearly, when it comes to trouble, look at him, Maser. Maser shows up at Speaker's Corner. If he had learnt anything useful, he would come and engage with a Christian who can debate with him. But what did Muhammad do to him? He parks his brain back at home before traveling for the day to come to Speaker's Corner. That gentleman over there, Maser, comes to Speaker's Corner for years, yet can't challenge a knowledgeable Christian. Maser, are you willing to challenge me at least today? Maybe you can't. So, my dear friends, so far we have discussed a very important point, which is, right from the time I started today, I asked a simple question. Please, any Muslim, if you can help us understand, help me understand how Muhammad is better than Hitler. No help so far. Help me understand how Muhammad is better than Jeffrey Epstein. No help so far. Help me understand how Muhammad is better than Osama bin Laden. Of all the terrorist organizations in the world, help me understand why Muhammad is any better than any of these fellows. No.
He's a dog.
Well, there is only one way in which he is better, which is in the sense of magnitude.
Where is the dog? Sorry, dog.
Jeffrey Epstein is a little, puny, little sex maniac. Muhammad is the world leader of a sex maniac.
Pedophile.
Hitler is a puny, of course, because of Hitler, thousands, millions died. So terrible. But even with the millions which Hitler eliminated, Hitler is still a puny, little, genocidal person. Muhammad is the worst monster of all.
Yes.
Millions over centuries, over more than a millennium. Can you imagine? Muhammad, his accomplishment is that in the blacklist ranking in the world, he occupies the top mark. Hitler can't even scratch the surface, can't even approach Muhammad. So this is the case. My dear friends, the tragedy that we are dealing with in our nation, in the UK and across the Christian West, unfortunately, can you imagine? The tragedy that we are dealing with today is that we, for whatever reason, I can't believe this utter nonsense, we are not able to distinguish Jesus with Muhammad. Can you imagine what has gone wrong? My dear friends, can you imagine?
Liberal Christian.
Even a child, give a child, my child, I have two children.
I can.
Yeah, even a child,
One of them.
not just you. A 2-year-old, 3-year-old can, if you give them a few facts, 3 statements, please, I have 2 children. I can ask them, hey, if these 2, tell me, help me understand. Jesus, marvelous. Whereas Muhammad mobilized the worst murderous death cult in history, Jesus taught, love your enemies. Jesus went to the cross to lay down his life. Went to the cross. The Bible says, whilst we were his enemies, Jesus loved us. Whilst we were his enemies, Jesus loved us. Can you imagine, my dear friends? These fellows, the mafia, Dawa mafia, Maser is free right now, so Maser could perhaps help. The mafia ringleaders at Speaker's Corner. Why is the world confused? It is because of people like him. Because of people like him. Angry, ignorant, cannot discuss details, runs away at all times, sends his bodyguards. Look at this camera crew, Hollywood. Recruit him for Hollywood, you can make a nice fantasy movie. But when it comes to truth, nothing worth anything meaningful, my dear friends. So, my dear friends, if in the UK we want to wake up to the reality of the murderous death cult that these mafia ringleaders advance, we need to wake up today.
Islam out.
So let me be very clear. Let me be very clear. My message is very important right now, my dear friends. Our problem is not just external, like the Dawa Mafia ring here. That's not just our problem. Like I said earlier, if we are in a state as a nation where we can't distinguish between Jesus and Muhammad, polar opposites, we need help. We need serious help. Something has gone wrong with us. Do you understand? Churches in our nation are struggling to distinguish. Churches. Our King Charles, is utterly clueless. He opens up wherever in Windsor Castle or wherever else, opens up facilities for the Islamic Mafia ring to do their genocidal business, praying. So clearly, we, the King, the Prime Minister, the ministers, the Parliament, MPs, and including the last of us, like me, we need help. We have clearly been deluded. It is time for us to wake up. Christians across our nation have to wake up. Christians have been called to be warriors. Warriors of what? warriors of truth, reason, love. Right from the first century, my dear friends, the apostles went around the world boldly like lions, not with swords, to carry a sword and chop people's heads off, even a silly idiot could do. Even a silly idiot could carry a sword and go around and chop people's heads off and dominate. Osama bin Laden did that, didn't he? Not the literal sword, but the underwear bomber, the pressure cooker bomber, the underwear bomb and you pee as you went on the plane bomber. All of these fellows to carry a genocidal agenda like Islam is very easy. Human beings already, we are angry at times, we hate others at times, we have malice towards others at times, and of course the simplest way to deal with things, violence. So Muhammad did not introduce anything super, he introduced something which is subhuman, animalistic. Animals could do the same stuff, and that is what Islam does. Jesus, on the other hand, wants us to be excellent warriors. Jesus, exactly, the weapons of our warfare are not carnal. They are mighty in God. They have the power to pull down strongholds. Islam is shattered in pieces through the weapon, the most powerful weapons: truth, love, life, light, goodness. Jesus is the master of it all. So in the UK, my dear friends, and across the Western world, Christians have to rise up. Christians have to rise up. Christians have to rise up, and we have to train ourselves. Train ourselves. This gentleman here, he is training himself to be a mafia ringleader. That's what he does. He trains. He has his minion. Look at him. Look at him. He trains. He knows how to be friendly today, because on a few occasions in the past, he was caught having violence. Violent agenda was caught on camera. He knows if he continues doing that, he'll be in prison. He knows it. And so today, he behaves better. And the mafia ringleaders here, the same. Jesus has taught
What does that show?
violence.
No, but does it represent their God? It represents Muhammad's.
Yeah, he's God. Yeah, he's Muhammad. Yeah, absolutely. So, my dear friends, as a nation, it is time for us all to wake up. If you're not a Christian today, could I please suggest to you, ignoring light, ignoring truth, ignoring life for long is not a good idea. Jesus is the very source of light. Jesus is the very source of light. Our nations have been ignoring Jesus for too long, and therefore we have become blind. If you ignore light for too long, you won't know how to see. And so no wonder we can't see today. No wonder we are confused today. Jesus is the one we all need to return to. A quick comparison. Jesus said, love your enemies. Jesus said, greater love has no man than to lay down his life for his friends. Jesus went to the cross to lay down his life, not just for his friends, but also his enemies. On the cross, as he lay down, atoning, allowing himself to be the atonement for the sins of the world, Jesus said, Father, forgive them, for they know not what they are doing. This is Jesus. Marvelous. Muhammad, on the other hand, Surah 5, Ayah 14, Ayah 64, Ayah 33. Eliminate the Jews and the Christians. In theory, Surah 59, the entire surah, elimination in practice. The surah heading is Al-Hashr, exile, chasing under duress the Jews and the Christians of the Islamic heartlands. That's Surah 59. Surah 57, the last ayat says, Jews and Christians don't deserve to own properties. Denial of basic human rights. This is Islam. And Islam is not clearly of God. Well, if God is immoral, well, my dear friends, if I am better than God in morality, can you imagine what has happened to us? Clearly, thankfully though, we have a God who has been revealed in history, who is Jesus, who is the pinnacle of morality. If you are Muslims, don't hide, please come forward. My dear Muslim friends, please come forward. This is the only time you can get knowledge. Elsewhere in your Friday masjid prayers, you get, filled with nonsense. So now you can come and get some knowledge.